So Johnny Depp and Kenneth Branagh are in the same movie, and Branagh is the one with the exaggerated accent and personality, and Depp is the normal one. What planet am I on? Did Depp and Branagh just switch personalities before they started filming this movie? Or did Branagh just decide he wanted to out-Depp Johnny Depp? Question for the ages. Hi, I'm Danny Quinn, and welcome to the latest episode of First Impressions. On today's episode, all aboard the Orient Express with an all-star cast as Kenneth Branagh's Hercule Poirot attempts to solve a murder in this latest adaptation of the Agatha Christie novel. So the plot of the film is that Hercule Poirot, played by Kenneth Branagh, is taking some time off after solving a theft in Jerusalem. However, his break is cut short as he is forced to return to London via the Orient Express, and the train is stopped in its tracks by an avalanche. In the ensuing chaos, a murder is committed and every one of Poirot's fellow passengers is a suspect. Now it's up to Poirot to figure out the identity of the killer before the train gets back on the tracks. This movie is the latest adaptation of Agatha Christie's highly acclaimed novel of the same name, which was one of several stories she wrote featuring the Belgian detective Hercule Poirot. And there have been many renditions of the character across various mediums, with actors such as Alfred Molina, Ian Holm, Albert Finney, and even Orson Welles of all people, who have all taken their turn at portraying Poirot at some point or another. But I think the one that most people will probably be familiar with, at least in the UK, is David Suchet's portrayal of Poirot in Agatha Christie's Poirot, the ITV series that lasted from 1999 to 2013, for 13 seasons. And this isn't the first time that the book has been adapted to film either. It was previously made into a film back in the 70s with Finney in the role of Poirot, and it also had an all-star cast, at least of the time, which included Lauren Bacall, Ingrid Bergman, Sean Connery, and Anthony Perkins. And because there have been so many adaptations and renditions of the character and of the story, it's probably not all that surprising that Hollywood is now trying to make a franchise out of the Poirot character. So I was looking forward to this movie. It has a very solid ensemble cast, and I do like Kenneth Branagh both as an actor and as a director, especially whenever it comes to period pieces. I think he's a very good fit for material like this, and that's very much on display in this film. The movie is beautiful. It's a very good looking movie. There's a real sophistication and elegance to Branagh's directing, which, coupled with Patrick Doyle's very lush score, really reminds me of a movie that would have come out in the classic era of cinema. And while Branagh's directing is mostly top-notch, I personally was quite mixed on his portrayal of Poirot. That moustache and that accent can be very hard to take seriously at times, and it almost seems like he's trying to out-Depp Johnny Depp throughout the entire movie. But despite his rather quirky performance in this film, I still really enjoyed him. I thought he did a good job, and his eccentricities did grow on me over time. I think he does a really good job both in front of and behind the camera. Make no mistake, this is Branagh's film through and through. He's very much at the front and centre of it. However, to an extent that also kind of works against the movie, because this movie has a fantastic supporting cast. Johnny Depp, Penelope Cruz, Judi Dench, Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley, Michelle Pfeiffer, Josh Gad, among several others. And they're all playing these very mysterious and very shady characters with very unique personalities. I wish there was a little more time devoted to them, because Branagh kind of hogs the spotlights. And it's kind of a shame that the actors are all overshadowed by Branagh, because the performances are for the most part excellent. Dench, Cruz, Dafoe and Derek Jacobi all do a very good job. Depp gives probably one of his better performances in recent years, playing a relatively normal person. Josh Gad is surprisingly good, and Michelle Pfeiffer is fantastic. She's easily the best thing about this movie. I think she really runs away with the film. Aside from Branagh, she's probably given the most to do, and she actually has the most compelling character to work with as well. But Daisy Ridley, on the other hand, kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. She wasn't bad per se, and I do like Daisy Ridley as an actress, but she was easily the weakest link in the cast. As for the mystery revolving around the murder itself, it's alright. There were a few moments that did kind of catch me off guard, and I was mostly engaged by it, but I wasn't really all that surprised whenever I found out the identity of the killer. Admittedly, I've never actually read the book, but I am somewhat familiar with the story, and unfortunately did find the movie to be a little bit predictable. Don't get me wrong, the reveal itself is still serviceable, and it is pretty cool to see Poirot put together all the clues, but I'd be lying if I said I couldn't see it coming from a mile away. Overall, I'm kind of divided on Murder on the Orient Express. On the one hand, I think it's a very well made film, some excellent production design, stunning cinematography, and the production values are top notch. The cast are all mostly solid, and I did find the movie somewhat entertaining and engaging. But on the other hand, the mystery is a little bit too predictable, it doesn't really add anything new to the story, and Branagh's performance as Poirot does take a little bit of getting used to. But for what it is, it's fairly enjoyable, and if you like old-fashioned murder mysteries, you might get a kick out of it. On a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being absolute irredeemable shit, and 10 being an outstanding, flawless masterpiece, I'm gonna give Murder on the Orient Express a 6 out of 10. You can tell they're trying to make a big franchise out of the Poirot character, which is fairly obvious from the really ridiculously blatant sequel hook at the end of the film. And if the film does well, we probably will be getting more adventures with Poirot. Whether or not they're an improvement on this film remains to be seen, but I'm more than willing to follow Poirot and his moustache into another mystery. So, Murder on the Orient Express, have you seen it yet? If so, what did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back soon with videos on Justice League, Paddington 2 and Jigsaw among several others. But in the meantime, feel free to like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. If there's anything I can do to improve my presentation, let me know. I can also be found via Facebook, Twitter, email and Instagram. And until next time, I'm Danny Quinn. And I hope you have a pleasant evening. But I think the one that most people will probably be familiar with is David Suchet's portrayal of... Fuck, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. I'm sorry. But I think the one that most people, at least in the UK, will probably be familiar with is David Suchet's portrayal of Poirot in the TV series Agatha. I maybe should start including outtakes in my videos in my, at the end of each video.